It's that time. We're finally going to talk about fall trends, or more specifically, what's in style for fall 2025. Hello ladies, welcome to today's video. My name is Kay and this is Dress for My Day. I've been getting requests for fall trends, and yes, that's what we're going to do today. I've got, I think, 10 different areas of trends that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to try to share how I think they're wearable for women over 50, of course. We're going to break it down into different things like, shoes and handbags and jeans and all those things. You are going to feel so informed by the time this video is over. I'm going to try to keep it moving and on pace so that it feels full and good and lots of take-home value. You're ready to go shopping for the fall and fill out your wardrobe. Pull those things from the back of your closet that you already have and enjoy wearing them. Before I did that, though, I thought I would just give you a little catch up on life right now. Fall is going to be a little busy for me. I've got some travels, but more importantly, I've got eye surgery on the horizon. I did not expect that. I finally made an appointment this past spring with my optometrist for an eye checkup. And when I did have that appointment, not only did I get, of course, a new prescription for new glasses and ended up having to go through all that, but she also found something kind of unexpected. So it turns out I have narrow angles, and if you have that, you probably know what I'm talking about, and it can lead to an acute glaucoma attack. My mom actually had an acute glaucoma attack a number of years ago, and it can be brought on a lot of times by medications, over-the-counter medications that we take, and that was the case with her. But if you have these narrow angles, you're predisposed to this kind of glaucoma attack, and we don't want that. So she sent me to an ophthalmologist. It took me a little while to even make that appointment, I'll just confess, because I just tend to put those things off. And sure enough, when I went, turns out I've got to have surgery. Now, it's just a laser surgery, and I've heard from so many of my followers who've had the same surgery, and they have really put my fears to rest. And I feel so good about that. Today's sponsor of our video is Zocdoc. And that's what they do, is they help us make those appointments that we've dread, that we've been putting off, but that we really need to make. Zocdoc is a free website where you can easily make appointments with the healthcare provider that you need to see. When you use Zocdoc, it is free and so easy to make an appointment with a healthcare provider in your area, one who is in your insurance network, who is in the specialty that you need, and who's also got high ratings from verified patients who have used them before. And all of that is right there on the website. So easy to see. In fact, you can even see real-time availability for the doctor that you're looking at. So it makes it really easy to schedule that appointment without ever calling anyone, without ever having to talk to anyone. You can do everything right there, and it's all free. I also like that you can schedule your appointment quickly and for soon. In fact, you can even score same-day appointments, but most of them are going to happen from 48 hours to 72 hours. So easy to schedule those appointments that we tend to put off, but we really need to take care of. Look, ladies, don't do like I did and put off that eye appointment. If I had kept putting off my optometrist appointment, I never would have thought to go to the ophthalmologist and to discover that I have this condition. And so I'm so glad I did. Since I've actually gone off of some medication that I was taking that could have caused that acute glaucoma attack. Until that surgery, I need to stay off of that. So it's just a really good idea to stay on top of those appointments, and Zocdoc can help you do that. You can go through the link below to zocdoc.com/KAYHARMS, and you can schedule your appointment with the healthcare provider that you need to see. So thank you so much to Zocdoc for sponsoring today's fall trend forecast. And now let's move on to what's in style for fall 2025. Now, I said that specifically that way because that's really what we're going to talk about, is what's in style for fall 2025, not just what's on trend. In fact, I know a lot of my viewers don't even like to think of trends. You like to be classic, and you like to wear things from deep in your closet that you've had for years. They're investment pieces that you bought because you think they'll not ever go out of style. And there are things indeed that hold their value in your closet that way. But I also want us to understand something about trends. A lot lot of times the trends that are probably the most popular and that we really enjoy the most are those classic pieces that are, as we would say, having a moment. They're just really at the forefront of our culture right now, and we're enjoying them, and we see them, you know, prolific in the stores. And that's what makes them so enjoyable, is because you can find that thing that you already like, but in lots of iterations and a lots of availability and in a full range of prices. And you're going to hear about a lot of those classics that are indeed having a moment. Another little preemptive that I want to give here is that just because something is not on trend, like if I don't mention it today and say this is a trend for fall 2025, doesn't mean it's out of style. For instance, I'm not going to say anything about bedazzled jackets, but this is a stylish jacket. I got this from Ramey Brook, a very stylish, you know, fashion-forward brand. They sent me this complimentary, and I wanted to show it to you. It's so fun. And if this is your personal style aesthetic, then this is the kind of thing you need to lean into. So as we talk about these fall fashion trends, think about the ones that resonate with your personal style. That's what you want to lean into. There is no need to feel like you have to jump on board with something that really just doesn't set well with you. So feel free to discuss these trends in the comments below, of course, but let's keep it polite and gracious, because what doesn't suit you may very well be the thing that tickles the fancy of someone else. And we don't want anyone to feel like they shouldn't wear or enjoy the trends that are out there right now. So let's talk about what is in style for 2025, and we're going to start with colors. Remember, colors never really go out of style. You can wear absolutely any color and you can still look stylish. In fact, I really encourage you to lean into the colors that look the best on you, that bring you joy, that you enjoy wearing, that get the most compliments, those sorts of things. The ones that are just maybe already in your wardrobe and you love them. So lean into those colors, but the colors you're going to see a lot of, and this probably is no surprise if you've been shopping any at all, are dark brown. So we're talking like espresso brown, cocoa brown, a dark chocolate brown. We're going to see darker, the richer, the better this year. So really lots of dark brown. We're also seeing lots of vibrant, deep reds. So that's everything from like a dark cherry red to also down into the deep burgundies and wine reds. We're going to continue to see shades of blue, and I think that we're just going to see like really beautiful, rich and bright shades of blue. But we're also going to continue to see lots of shades of green. You know, so really, I think those are the predominant colors we're going to see, that dark brown, different shades of red, including, I do see an orangey red some too, a lot of orangey, a dark orangey red. Then those shades of blue and shades of green. Not seeing a lot of orange or yellow. I'm not even really seeing a lot of bright pink, although that could come around at holiday time. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom. Let's start at shoes. I think shoes are always so fun to kind of know what's in style with shoes. We're seeing a lot of really unique features this year. Some of them have been around for a couple of years. Others are really just kind of entered into the picture. We're continuing to see ballet flats with that Mary Jane strap across them. And we're seeing other silhouettes of shoes and styles of shoes with that Mary Jane strap too. In fact, just that really traditional Mary Jane is very on style. Now, what about us ladies over 50? Is that a good thing? You know what? I just think it's a very personal thing. I do have some ballet flats that had that little Mary Jane strap, and I kind of like some other shoes with the Mary Jane strap too. What I've noticed for me is that as I've gotten older, my foot has changed. It's gotten a little thicker. I don't like that. I don't know about you, but it makes it harder for me to wear a shoe with a strap across the top of my foot. And so I probably won't be doing that a whole lot. But if you love it and if you still have that dainty, pretty little foot, I think that's a really fun way to look in style. Those Mary Janes are going to look great with things like jeans and even skirts. So it's a fun trend. But we're also, of course, seeing mesh this year. Mesh even in sneakers and in those ballet flats and in other flats. The big fabric, though, that we're going to see over and over, you're going to hear me mention it several times, is suede. Boy, we are seeing so many suede shoes of all different kinds. I have some new little suede flats that I'm absolutely loving. You're going to see suede ballet flats, suede details on your sneakers, suede pumps, suede slingbacks, just suede all over the place, suede loafers, everything. Speaking of loafers, loafers are really big again this year, and we're seeing all kinds of iterations. We're seeing just the really classic loafer, we're seeing a really streamlined loafer, and we're still seeing some chunky sole loafers as well, lug sole loafers. I think really anything goes. Once again, wear the style that resonates with you. We're continuing to see low profile sneakers this year for fashion sneakers. And by that, I mean sneakers that are kind of influenced by soccer. So instead of like the running shoe trend that we had for a while there, we're seeing more like soccer or field sneaker inspired, as well as, I guess, court sneakers, but not as much. It's like we're not seeing as many tennis shoes as we are soccer shoes. But honestly, sneakers in general are still just very on style to wear with all kinds of outfits. Everything from dresses to jeans, especially like a wide leg, full length jean or something like that. Even your dressier trousers are fun to wear with sneakers right now. So fashion sneakers are just almost a must-have in a woman's closet, especially if you like that aesthetic or you like adding some juxtaposition to your dressier outfits. I mentioned suede, but we're also seeing a lot of faux exotic animal prints or textures, things like snake, reptile, alligator. And we're also going to, of course, see leopard print in shoes as well. Let's move on to denim. I think I'm going to do a whole video on denim, so let me know in the comments below if you would like that, if you'd like a denim, fall denim guide in the next few weeks or so that would carry us through the winter months as well. We would talk denim for fall and winter. Let me know if that appeals to you. But let's talk briefly though about denim in general terms. Really, right now, denim is fluid, meaning that all styles are really pretty acceptable. Still, even though I keep hearing faint whisperings of skinny jeans, I just don't see them. And stores may carry them, and we may keep hearing that they're coming back, but then when you open a fashion magazine or you turn on something on TV where they're showing fashionable things, you just don't see skinny jeans. In fact, I think so many people are enjoying the popularity of wide leg jeans and more relaxed fit straight leg jeans, that those are really prevailing. It's kind of that thing where it's gone beyond the fashion runways and the general public has really latched on to wide leg jeans and that relaxed, fuller, straight leg jean. And that's what I'm seeing the most of. I do hear about flare leg jeans, boot cut jeans still being in style. I just don't see them as much. And I also keep hearing that kind of that kick flare jean, the little kind of demi boot jean, whether it's a full length or an ankle length is really on style. I see some of that being worn in kind of fashion circles, but not nearly as much as the full leg, full length, wide leg, or a straight but more relaxed fit, kind of a blousier leg look. We are still seeing barrel jeans, of course. I just don't see them being quite as popular going into winter as they were in the spring and summer and maybe early fall. And we are still seeing that jean with that deep cuff at the end too. You can take that or leave it, take barrel jeans or leave it. But I think if you really want to be the most on trend, like really look current in your jeans, because I think that's where most of us fall. We want to look current, but also feel comfortable and kind of like at home in our jeans, like not feel, odd in them or out of place. I think the best thing to lean into is either that full length wide leg jean or a full length straight but fuller leg jean that is going to look so sharp and contemporary. When it comes to the details about jeans, I already mentioned that deep cuff is very on trend still. Yes, we're going to continue to see that raw edge instead of a hem, but we're seeing a lot of hemmed jeans too. We're going to see minimal distressing. I'm just really not seeing nearly as much distressing as we used to, and I know many of you are like, hallelujah. and I don't really care for distressing a whole lot anymore either. I think it kind of had its time and it's kind of moved on. We're seeing more undistressed, but jeans that have that whiskering and some strategic fading, things like that we are definitely seeing. As far as colors, we are of course seeing all the shades of blue, and I really think I see as much dark wash, medium wash, and light wash as the other. We're going to see gray and black wash, but I also expect to see a lot of dark chocolate brown jeans as well, and probably some coated jeans, especially as we move further into fall and close to winter. While we're down here around jeans, let's go ahead and talk about another really big trend for this year, and that is pants. I mean, we're just seeing a lot of kind of a dressier trouser and a straight leg pant, and really like that black pant, or if you prefer navy or gray, that works too. But those pants are just so on. Now we're seeing straight leg, we're seeing cropped length, we're seeing full length. We're seeing a wide leg trouser with pleats, wide leg trouser without pleats. But just that trouser look that maybe you keep it a little casual, keep the outfit casual by wearing that trouser with either sneakers or loafers and just a button-up top or that polo top or something. So trousers are just really spot on right now. I invested in a pair of navy ones during the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and I've invested in a pair of camel ones. But you could do black, you could do camel, you could do gray, any of those. And I think just one or two pair, probably in most of us, for our closet is plenty, because they're gonna be so versatile. You're gonna be able to wear them so many different ways. But that's one of those classics that's really having a moment. Let's talk about tops now, moving on up the outfit here. What are we seeing in tops? Well, one thing, the most popular thing about tops, most stylish thing right now, I think, is collared tops. So yes, I mean, you can certainly still wear your basic t-shirts, tank tops, having just a basic tank top today. Nothing wrong with that. They're certainly going to have their place. But really, if you're investing in just a top to wear with jeans and you're not necessarily going to wear a jacket over it or something, really the most stylish direction you could go is to purchase a top with a collar. So that could mean, of course, a polo top, which has buttons at the top here. It could mean a Johnny collar top, which is simply one that's like a polo, but it doesn't actually have any buttons. It just has the collar and the V-neck, but no button. That would be a Johnny collar. And then also we're going to continue to see just some button-up shirts, and also just other tops, I guess, that have a collar. They don't really necessarily fit that profile of a Johnny collar or a polo, but just collars in general. We're just going to see lots of collars. And there are kind of different reasons for that. I think you have to remember that trends don't happen in a vacuum. They affect each other. And right now, because we are wearing just a lot of wider leg jeans, full length jeans, we're going to continue to see a lot of high rise, but also medium too. What that does is it puts a lot of volume down below, and so we find ourselves wearing more just close to the body tops. Well, I think as time has gone on and we've done that, people have decided, I want to dress that up a little bit. I don't want to just wear a close to the body t-shirt. And so therefore collared t-shirts or polos and Johnny collars have become very popular. But that is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing closer fitting tops also are more current right now. And that's because, again, we're seeing those wider leg jeans, fuller leg jeans. And so therefore that closer to the body top is going to look more in proportion. Another thing about tops that really is on trend is texture. We're seeing a lot of texture in tops this year. Anything from ribbing to sheared tops. I'll give you a couple of examples of that here. And then also crochet. So just all kinds of texture in tops. I just pointed out that I'm just giving you some examples here, and below I'm going to give you some to shop here in my YouTube shopping links, but I'll also below have some links in the description box that will take you to each of these categories where we have put together collections of some of these things that I'm talking about today, so that you could just begin to shop these, or at least see some more examples in the stores of the things that I'm showing. Let's talk sweaters now. Again, I am noticing that we're seeing a lot more close to the body fitting sweaters. I don't think that rules out, you know, looser fit sweaters. I think we will certainly see those, especially as we get closer to winter. But right now, maybe when you're kind of, your layers are lighter and we're not wearing coats and we're not really trying to pile on the heat or anything, I'm seeing a lot of close fitting, lighter weight sweaters because, once again, we're wearing them with those wider leg jeans, wider leg trousers too. You are going to continue to see them in cropped lengths. And when I say cropped, that's not your, you know, your daughter's cropped from back in the 90s or whatever. This is a cropped length that really goes over most waistbands, especially if you wear a high waist or even a mid-waist band jean or trouser. I think you're going to find that these cropped length sweaters and tops work really nicely over them. In fact, what they do is it gives you the ability to have a top that you don't tuck in, because I know so many of my followers don't want to tuck their top. You can leave that top untucked but still get really nice proportions. I think one of the things that women our age really need to stay away from is longer tops, because so many women like to leave their tops untucked. You do not want to wear a long top that just really tears up your proportions. So look for those cropped length tops. Don't shy away from them just because they call them cropped lengths. You know, check out the measurements. Sometimes they provide that, or just try one on, and more than likely you're going to find that it works really nicely left out over the waistband of your jeans and trousers. Let's talk jackets real quick. What are we seeing in jackets? What's in style in 2025 for jackets? It continues to be that more cropped length jacket is probably the most modern or most current jacket. We're also still seeing that kind of a boxy fit. But here's a good opportunity for me to stress that you really need to wear what works for you. You do not have to jump on a trend just because it's the most of the moment thing. Recently, I tried again to wear a boxy fit cropped length jacket, and it just doesn't work for me. I do have an hourglass shape, and my waist is right there where those jackets hit, and I need a jacket that kind of comes in a little bit, that accentuates those curves. It just doesn't do me any favors to wear a boxy fit cropped length jacket. So I'm kind of staying away from those, even though that may be on trend. It's just not for me. I have heard recently too, like your traditional trucker jacket is not on trend. Well, you know what, but if that's the silhouette that works best for you, or if it's what you enjoy wearing, then wear it. It's a classic. You can certainly still wear it and still look stylish. So think about that as you think about these trends. The goal here is for you to look and feel stylish, not necessarily to look and feel on trend. You know, there's a fine line of a difference there. The trends help us to stay current, but good style trumps a trend any day. A jacket that we are seeing a lot of, though, besides that cropped length jacket, again, is the barn jacket. And I'm here for it. I got a barn jacket last year from LLB and I absolutely love. I am so tempted to buy the other color. But we're seeing a lot of barn jackets again this year, and we are, just like last year, seeing a lot of them souped up. So you're going to see some plaids, you're going to see some corduroy collars and cuffs on the sleeves. You're going to see some bedazzling, I believe, too. So lots of barn jackets just really on trend again this year. A few quick tips about dresses and what's on trend there. I really think all the lengths are good. I mean, you can wear any length you want to, and they're quite acceptable. In fact, really, length in general is very fluid when it comes to jeans, trousers, dresses, skirts. Lengths are just all over the place. You wear whatever length you want to. There's no such thing as it being the wrong length, like that's just not the right length. What you do want is the right length for you. And you know what, ladies? Some of us need a dress or a skirt that hits above the knee. Some of us do really well at the knee, and others of us really prefer, or maybe even look our best in a midi or maxi length dress or skirt. So do what works best best for you, or even what works best for that particular outfit, that occasion. And wear it in confidence and know that you can look and style in any length that you prefer and that truly is the best for you. We're seeing lots of feminine details on dresses these days, lots of little pin tucks, lots of pleats, lots of lace, especially on collars. I'm seeing lots of lace on collars and on sleeves and things like that. So lots of beautiful feminine details, feminine fabrics, sheer fabrics, you know, just really pretty fabrics, and of course in those trending colors. Speaking of, you know, fabrics, let's go ahead and talk about the prints that are on trend this year. We're going to continue to see a lot of stripes, I believe, lots of plaid, especially as we get into fall and then into winter. And we are, of course, seeing animal print this year, specifically, of course, leopard, but also I've seen a lot of cow print and other animal prints. So just be aware that this is a good time to enjoy that. If you like that, then wear it with confidence. We have just 2 more areas to go. Let's talk coats. The other day I was talking to my hairstylist, and she was talking to a friend in Russia, and she said, you know, over in Russia and in places in Europe too, they're just always a little ahead of us fashion-wise. And indeed, that is true. And what her friend told her, I thought really checked right out with what I've been reading, is that coats are getting longer. They're getting flowier and fuller, and more of, they're seeing buttons and kind of a tie waist, but not zip-up coats, okay? So we're wearing a fuller coat that really wraps. A wrap coat is very on trend right now, very stylish. That doesn't mean that you can't wear your more slim fit coat, you know, those that do just like button up, or even something that maybe you bought before and it zips up or something. Certainly doesn't mean you can't wear those, but the most current coats are those that wrap, they double over, they wrap up really nicely, they just look luxurious. We're gonna see a lot of wool blend, and some faux furs. And we're gonna wrap it up with handbags, shoulder bags. What I'm seeing there is, again, lots of suede and lots of brown, of course, but really lean into that suede. I think suede handbag is one of the best trends to really buy into right now, especially if you love suede or even a faux suede, because they're just going to be plentiful, and you're going to find them in every size and in every design, from clutches to satchels to shoulder bags to totes. You're just going to see lots of suede. So that's a fun one to lean into. As far as the silhouettes, though, it's kind of interesting. We're seeing both extremes. We're seeing small bags, we're seeing large bags. We're also seeing satchels with top handles, very ladylike. And we are also, though, seeing kind of a slouchy, you know, full hobo type shoulder bag too. So it's almost like really anything goes in those handbags too. I am still seeing handbag tags and charms. So if that's something you're into, they're plentiful. I think we're going to be seeing them probably for 2 or 3 years is my bet. I think it's just going to be something we're going to enjoy for a while if you enjoy it. So that is my trend report. If there's something I didn't cover, maybe I can talk about it in an upcoming video or a blog post. So let me know if there's something that you're thinking, hey, is this in style? But as you have those questions, I want you to remember, again, let me just go back and reiterate this, that just because something is not called out as a trend right now does not mean it is not stylish. Good style always trumps a trend, and so those classic pieces, especially if they are in good quality, then they are going to trump those trends anyhow. Remember, colors do not go out of trend. Wear the colors that you enjoy, and bottom line is always take into consideration your personal style aesthetic and participate in the trends that really help you to express your personal style rather than mess up your personal style. I hope this has been helpful today, ladies. Be sure to go through that link below to Zocdoc to make that appointment with that healthcare provider that you've been putting off. Don't do that any longer. Take advantage of this opportunity to easily schedule an appointment with that healthcare provider right there on that website. Thanks so much to Zocdoc for sponsoring today's video, and thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate your support. Be sure to check below for links to things that I have shown today, and I will see you next Wednesday.